Hey, hey, hey. Good evening. It is great to be here with you. Hopefully you have had a wonderful day, either super productive or super fun or super laid back, super something. I am feeling really, really good, and I'm really excited for my topic tonight. It is something that I enjoy, that I have fun with, and that I hope you will at least be excited to try. Yeah. So tonight, well, before I say that, first I have to give a huge shout out to Melissa. Hello. So fun to see you pop in. Thank you. Melissa. Such a great day today. It was such a great day. And you know why. So tonight, I want to talk about visualization. No trying, only doing. Yes, indeed. Melissa is one of my new friends from a recent challenge, and I sort of have started thinking of her as my own private Yoda. That girl is so full of wisdom, you guys can't even believe it. I was blown away, just blown away. Wendy, hey Wendy, welcome. You guys may see a guest appearance by Kokomo, the 4-month-old Bullador. She's actually behaving tonight, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully she won't go crazy like she did here a while ago. I've noticed when I get excited and like pound my arms on my lawn chair, it wiggles the camera. That's just weird. So it's a habit I'm gonna have to try to break myself of. Anyway, okay, I'm super excited to talk about visualizations. For anyone who doesn't know what a visualization is or doesn't fully understand the practice of visualizations, it is a technique whereby you imagine an outcome of a situation. Could be anything. You imagine the outcome of how you would ideally like it to be, happen, arrive. So whatever ideal, awesome, powerful result that you would like to have happen in a certain situation in your life, visualization is the technique of imagining and visualizing that ideal outcome way before it's ever come to fruition. Way before. Melissa says we are visual beings. Yes. Think about it. From the time we were teeny tiny, for those of you who remember playing pretend when you were little, like that was one of my favorite things to do, was to play pretend. To pretend I was a princess, or to pretend I was a warrior, or to pretend I was a lion tamer. I grew up on a farm, so there was lots of room to roam and lots of old barns to play in and haystacks to get into, and a lot of opportunity to pretend. And that, my friends, is what you're doing when you're visualizing. It's almost as if you're doing an adult form of pretend play. Yes, Melissa, you can see it when you believe it, right? If you can see it in your head, and then you can believe in that vision of what you want, you will be able to then see it come to pass in your real world. How many of you know that thoughts become things? And for me personally, I believe that our thoughts become words, and then we either think those words or we speak those words, and words become things in our life, in our world, in our experience. Okay, so Visualizations. Imagine that you are 5 years old again, and you are remembering how much fun it is to pretend and to imagine whole new worlds in your mind. So think about that type of activity, and now step back into your adult realm and do the same thing. We're playing in our minds. We are imagining the way we want things to turn out way before the reality of the situation comes to pass. So for example, hey Jennifer, just a quick shout out. Thoughts become things. Yes, Wendy, thoughts become things. And in fact, side note, there are plenty of medical research studies, scientific studies that have found that our thoughts actually have mass, measurable mass. And if you can measure mass, then that means it's matter. Thoughts become matter. Thoughts become things. It's energy transference. Super cool. I'm going off on a tangent. It's just so exciting. Visualizations. So, here's my hard example for you. When I was going through the process of applying for my teaching certificate, whoa, puppy, she's being so good. She just bumped the camera. Oh, I don't want to play. Hold on, I gotta get her bone. Okay, sorry. She has needs, man. I'm sorry, she has needs. So, visualization. When I was going through the process of applying for my teaching certificate here in the state of Idaho, I was super nervous. I was over the age of 40. I never dreamed that I would find myself at this stage, this season of life, and this age, actually getting to realize a long-held desire that I had always had of being a teacher someday. That's just not how my life trajectory went. And so a part of me, even though I wanted it so badly, I wanted to be a teacher, I wanted the opportunity, I was starting my application process, there was a part of me that was still very resistant and very skeptical, right? I was very skeptical that this was gonna work out, but I wanted it to really bad. So one thing I did, every morning, I visualized myself standing in a classroom. Now, it was pretty vague. I mean, I couldn't tell you what school it was, what building it was. I couldn't even tell you what town it was in. All I knew is that I could see myself in my mind standing in a classroom presenting a lesson, right? Engaging with some students. To this day, I couldn't tell you exactly what the students looked like. Like, they didn't really have a whole lot of detail as far as characteristics, but I could see them. I could see my class full of students ready and waiting for me to do my thing. And I felt zero fear. I felt complete and utter joy and peace about what I was visualizing and seeing in my mind. And within 6 months, I had a job offer for my first teaching position. It was so awesome. It was so awesome. And because I am a very creative personality, I like to write. Some of you know I like to crochet things. I like to paint and do mixed media art journals. So I've always kind of been, you know, that creative mind. And I've always loved to imagine new worlds and new things. And I have to say, you know, those are all kind of the fun parts of being a creative personality. on the other side, the maybe not so fun part is sometimes I live a little bit too much in my head. So I have to work around that a little bit. However, visualization, that has been so key to my recent successes in many areas of my life. I usually always do it in the morning, because for me, early in the morning, right after I've got up, it's just easiest for me to get really quiet and focused. I just sit in a really comfortable spot. There's no fancy anything, right? Wendy, wait, hold on. Wendy says, you're speaking my language. Oh, Coco, dang it. Okay. I'm more concrete and real, which I think holds me back. Yeah, some of us are very, very concrete thinkers. And that's not a bad thing at all, Wendy. It just means you may have to find some techniques to get you into the frame of mind in order to visualize what you want to see come to pass. Because I know you personally in real life, and I know that you are also a teacher and that you teach your specialty and your focus is science, it doesn't surprise me to hear that you're much more concrete than I am. I'm very idealistic, and so it just means maybe I can slip into it a little bit quicker. However, Wendy, I challenge you to try it and not give up until you have at least one success. And, Coco, stop. Sorry, guys. And share your success with us, Wendy. That's my challenge to you. Yeah, cool. Okay. So there's no fancy stuff involved. I'm going to give you a couple little tips on how to get in that space. So I do mine first thing in the morning because that's when it's easiest for me to really quiet my monkey mind, right? And everything that's going on upstairs. It's super quiet first thing in the morning. I sit in just wherever is comfortable, usually on my bed or in a chair in my bedroom. Sometimes I sit in my walk-in closet on the floor and shut the door, because honestly, it's just a nice little sort of nest in there, and the clothes kind of make it soundproof a little bit. Not that I'm like doing any yelling, but anyway. So I get quiet. It's still kind of quiet in my house. I close my eyes. I take a couple of nice deep breaths, and then I start imagining whatever goal I'm currently working on, or whatever outcome that I am working towards. I start imagining what that will look like when I've reached goal, or what that will look like when I'm successful in that place. Like I said, when I was visualizing myself becoming a teacher, I visualized me standing in my classroom presenting to students, and then once you get the image of what your success looks like, here is the secret sauce. So here is the vital component. Okay, are you guys ready? You have to, however you get there, you have to make yourself feel the feelings of that success. So remember, I mentioned I visualized my classroom. I was standing there presenting a lesson to all these attentive students ready to receive. And as I was layering the imagery in my mind, then that next step, that secret sauce, was layering the feelings over that image. In other words, I layered on what I imagined I would feel like as a teacher. I felt joy, I felt excited, I felt engaged, I felt purposeful, I felt intelligent, I felt empowered and self-confident. And again, this was as I was still applying for my certification. This was 6 months before I even had an interview, right? I mean, I had no idea if that was really how it was all going to unfold, but that was what I imagined it would look like and how I imagined it would feel when I got there. Okay, so first set up the imagery in your mind, paint that picture. If it helps, here's another little pro visualization tip. If it helps you, pretend you are sitting in a movie theater, watching a big screen, and seeing your ideal situation project before you or play out on that big screen. Sometimes that helps me too. When I first started using visualization on a regular basis, that's how I did it. I pretended I was sitting in the movie theater all by myself. I was the only one in the theater watching this big screen that was essentially projecting my future life onto the screen for me to watch. And as I watched the image unfold and play on that big screen and began to feel the feelings of how that outcome, how that would feel, it got me into that space more quickly, right? It was just an easy, familiar setup, I think, maybe. Melissa says, love the big screen as a good starter. Yeah, it just was so helpful. Just kind of getting me in that spot. Now that I've done it several times and used it in several different areas of my life, for about 2 years, I've been consistently visualizing. I'm way quicker. I sit down, I get comfortable, I take a few deep breaths, I close my eyes, and I'm right there seeing it. I don't have to like go through the steps of putting myself in the movie theater seat and putting up the big screen. It just kind of flows. So that's a pro tip. I'm going to give you one other example before I wrap it up. So in December, this past December, so 8 months, I was at the family holiday dinner that changed my life. I talked about this, I think, in my very first live, maybe. For those of you who haven't watched it, that was the family holiday dinner that is for my husband's family. It was a really nice holiday dinner, lots of cousins and aunts and uncles, and it's such a big family that it's hard to get together more often. In walked, Wendy, you're gonna love this story. In walked my husband's cousin and his wife. His wife, her name is Christy Davis, and I have known Christy for over 15 years. And she and I have gotten to be good friends, and we have a nice relationship. We don't spend a lot of time together, and I don't see her very often. I see her a couple times, maybe 3 or 4 times a year. Totally wish I saw her more because she's precious, and she happens to be Wendy's twin sister. So if you talk to Christy, Wendy, tell her I totally called her out. Anyway, so Christy walks into the family holiday party, and I look at her, and I legitimately did not recognize her. I had seen her 6 months before at our July family picnic. She walked into the holiday party 6 months later, and she looked like a different person. She had lost, I believe, over 50 pounds. I was in shock. So, of course, I spent a good portion of the dinner sitting with her and listening to her experience. When I got home that day, I looked into the program she mentioned. It's called Code Red. If any of you are interested, send me a personal message. I can give you the link. I bought the book. I read the book in like 2 days. And then on December 20th, that's when I started my weight loss journey. And at the time, I weighed 225 pounds. Look at me now. You're so funny, Wendy. I weighed 225 pounds. And Tia, what in the heck does this have to do with visualization? Well, because I had already started seeing some successes with using visualization to just reinforce my goals and my aspirations, I figured it can't hurt to use it with my weight loss journey. Now, I had been far too heavy, and I had been clearly overweight, over 200 pounds for 14 years. Tried every kind of diet, all kinds of stuff. I'm serious. If they wrote a book about it or published it or put it out there, I have been on it or tried it. But because I had seen the visualizations prove itself as a helpful technique, I thought, well, I'm gonna apply this to Code Red and just see. I'm just gonna see, because again, I was I was so skeptical of the Code Red program, and this is not going to turn into a commercial for Christy Code Red Nichols or her program, but thank you, Jesus, that I found it and her, and she's just one of my favorite women heroes who lives here in Boise, and that's so cool. So I started visualizing as I was following the eating plan and the program, because it is a lifestyle. They don't tell you what to eat, when to eat, how to eat it. They give you a list that you can have and a list that you should avoid and some really simple rules, and they are go for it, So I'm following the rules, and I'm eating the foods I'm supposed to, and I'm doing the visualization every morning. Same thing, right? And I was only halfway through my first year of teaching. Remember, I had just become a new teacher. I was just almost done with the first semester, and here I tell myself I need to go and do this weight loss challenge. I'm telling you, the visualization I did every morning was a huge help. Now, can I promise you that that's what transformed me? No, I can't promise that, but I can tell you it helped my mindset, and it helped me fight off the cravings when I was going through my sugar detox, and it helped me to keep going even when it got really hard, or when I plateaued for 3 weeks at a time. Every morning I would get up, I would get in my little spot, I would close my eyes, take my deep breaths, and visualize how I would look and what kind of clothes I would be wearing and where I would be, what I would be doing when I reached my goal weight, which for me was 150 pounds. So from 225 down to 150 every morning. I imagined how I would look, what did my body look like? What did my clothes look like? How did my clothes feel? What kinds of things, what kinds of activities would I be doing? And once I had those strong images planted, then again, I went back and overlaid the feelings. How would I feel if I weighed my goal weight? How would I feel if I could actually buy clothes off the rack in the regular sizes? How would I feel if I could go swimming with my boys, which is their absolute favorite thing to do, wearing a swimsuit that I bought off the rack and feeling body healthy and body confident? What would that feel like? And I will tell you, in my visualization time, I felt joy, I felt self-confident, I felt positive in my body image. I loved myself again. All of a sudden I was starting to feel self-love again after 15 years of really a lot of loathing, a lot of self-loathing, and a lot of body loathing and personal body shaming. Now, I've never had anybody publicly body shame me, thank goodness, because I know there are women who deal with that, and men. But again, back to that feeling. I pictured it in my mind myself. I pictured myself, my body, my clothing, down to the brand name of the jeans I was wearing, and then the activities that I would be able to do freely, and then the feeling. And you don't have to take a long time for your visualization. I'm talking anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. I would just sit there and hold it. Just sit there and hold the image and hold the feeling. And boom, done. Get up, go take a shower, get ready for work, move on with my day. Melissa says, so proud of you. You are brave and worthy. Melissa, thank you so much, girl. Oh, you are delicious. Oh, man, thank you so much. You too. Right back at ya. Little side note, little update. I am down to 15 pounds away from goal weight. I have 15 pounds left to lose before I hit my goal weight, which means I've lost 60 pounds total since December. Some people who do Code Red lose it way quicker than me, but I'm good with that, because no matter what happens from today on, if I never lose another ounce, I am way better health-wise than I was before, and I am way happier than I was before, and I'm nicer. Honestly, I'm a nicer person. Once you imagine it, you can go to it very easy. Yes, Melissa, thank you for pointing that out. Once you do your visualization once or twice, by about the third or fourth time that you're popping it in your head, it gets quick and easy, and then you'll find yourself, this is what I have noticed, I'll find myself seeing that image and feeling that feeling later on during my day. It'll come back to me. And that's kind of a nice side benefit, because I feel like the more often we can get that image and hang on to it, the easier it gets and the quicker your success is going to come to you. Whatever you're working on, whatever successes you're working on, right? So yeah, visualizations, my friends, try it. Some of you might be thinking, oh Tia, that's totally woo-woo. That's too, like, whatever. That's too hard, or that just sounds too easy, or that just sounds like, you know, gobbledygook. I just don't think I'm the type of person that can visualize. Well, I'm sorry, but if you have a brain in your head, which if you are watching this and breathing and wandering around doing life, you can visualize. You really can. It may take you a couple tries, and it may take you a couple of failures and frustration, but it's totally worth it. It is one of those techniques that it will, once you get the hang of it, it will serve you for the rest of your life in any situation for any reason. I guarantee it. Like, that's one of those things I believe that much in the power of visualization. Melissa says, I am a hypnotherapist and I help people every day with visualization. Boom. You heard it here, people. You heard it from a hypnotherapist. Visualization. It's awesome. I'm not a hypnotherapist. I'm a business teacher. And I am telling you, it works. It works. Okay? All right. You guys have been awesome tonight. Such good comments, such fun engagement. Oh my goodness. So much fun to spend a few minutes with my Facebook friends, Melissa and Wendy. If you have joined live and you're watching live, thank you. Wait, Melissa says, I might be able to do a live with you, Tia, and do a session with your peeps. Oh my goodness. That would be so awesome, Melissa. That would be so cool. Yes, I'm saying yes. I don't know when yet, but I'm saying yes to that. That just sounds so cool. And if you didn't see the crazy Kokomo running back and forth like a mad woman, there she goes again, yeah. Wendy says do it. Yeah, let's do it, Wendy. Yeah, we're totally gonna do it. We'll figure out the details via text. We'll set it up. I love that idea. For now, if you were live with me, thank you. If you enjoyed this, I am so glad. I'm so happy. I hope that it inspires you to try visualization, even just one time. Just try it. If you're watching the replay, I would absolutely love for you to comment with how you might be able to use visualization for something you're working on. And as always, I'm sending you grace and peace and sunshine. And I will see you back here tomorrow. Good night.